Hello, Cancer, and welcome to your mid-September 2017 tarot card reading. So this is roughly September 15th for September 15th to September 30th. Of course, I'm doing this reading on the 10th, so I'll probably be tapping into a little bit of present energy as well. All right, I'm just going to jump in. This is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising, and I'll start with the animal card you guys got for this time period. And I'll read it from the book because I know you guys like that. So we have the golden egg. The golden egg, the message at the center of the heart, the unstruck sound. Within the golden egg lives a precious sound. Deep within that sound resides a message. The sound cannot be heard, nor the message discerned until we retreat from the noise of modern-day life. The magical essence of the golden egg needs warmth, quiet, and time to unfold. No rushing, pushing, or grasping. Find a place of deep and restful ease, perhaps through yoga nidra, or meditation. If you do not yet have a meditation practice, take some time for introspection or contemplation. When the mind begins to settle and the breath is calm, ask the question that weighs heaviest on your heart, staying open to any response you hear. Engaging with the energy of the golden egg is an advanced practice. It requires becoming intimate with our very essence and comfortable with vulnerability. When a feeling of tenderness or gratitude arises from deep within you, know that you are well on your way. Your chest may swell like you are seeing an old friend that's been away for a long, long time. Listen to the message they've been waiting to tell you. The golden egg and the fourth chakra. The subtle essence of the golden egg is nestled deep within the heart chakra, heart center at the fourth chakra. This chakra, called Anahata, is the home of the self or the soul. By bringing mind into this center, we discover a portal to the most intimate and luminous space. It is said our inner guide sits there in deep meditation, waiting for us. Anahata translates as the unstruck sound. So beautiful. So beautiful. So there are a couple things that are coming up with this. And of course, this is like this, the card I like to use is this overarching thematic energy as we go through the rest of the reading and the rest of the cards. But ease and there's this sense of the feeling I'm getting is this venturing out and then this homecoming. So there is that that's coming up as well. Really, the golden egg for Cancer. First of all, the energy when I was meditating on your sign, there is this expansiveness that's taking place. But it feels subtle. There's something subtle to the energy, and perhaps it's that patience that the golden egg is speaking to. That there's nothing to, there's something that you're not rushing anything. You're not pushing forward. There's nothing that's being forced. There is this ease and then this allowance of the unfolding process to happen. So this energy is really potent for you at this time. And I feel for most of you, the majority, there is this embracing of this golden egg energy, this allowing but breakthrough. And what it sort of feels like is, an origami ball, when you sort of look at the different sides and there are different colors, it's almost like, it's a little too abstract. Ultimately, it just feels like it's this really dynamic unfolding process that is beginning and, or that is happening rather, I'll say. I feel like it's been in the works, but it really, in a new way, there's just it's this emerging, unfolding process that's taking place that you're not forcing, that you're allowing, and really that that state of peace, that center, is your guide this for the next couple of weeks here. So that's your center point. Yeah, let's just keep this in mind. This feels very dynamic, but also so simple. So there's a simplicity and that's coming from this card, that it feels almost as if there's a simple, uncomplicatedness to your approach to whatever it is you're moving forward with, or whatever circumstance this particular card is resonating with for you. So there is this allowance, this ease, this it's this almost this sweet spot of clarity that you're finding, and stillness amidst everything. So it's almost, there's a lot of activity, it feels like, around this nest, but there's this like stillness and this focus and this this like collectedness and this order to the egg here. And I also just heard legacy with this, your future. So let's just keep this in mind. That's beautiful, beautiful. All right. Let's dive into these cards. Cancer. Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Here we go. Interesting. Okay. So, okay. So we have the Nine of Swords reversed, next to the Tower reversed, next to the Ace of Pentacles. Then moving more center of the spread here, we have the Hermit reversed. We have the Hanged Man right next to the Six of Pentacles, almost on top of each other. We have the Son of Cups right next to the Wheel of Fortune, next to the Strength card, Leo's card. We have the Magician reversed next to the Five of Pentacles, next to the Three of Swords reversed. And then we have, really amazing, the High Priestess next to the Six of Wands. And they're very connected. And then right next to that we have the Empress. And this feels very maternal, for you guys specifically, very maternal. And then coming out, we have the Two of Cups reversed, and right on top of it, sort of almost as like little details about that, is we have, they're all laid horizontally. We have the Daughter of Swords over the Two of Swords over the World reversed. So, okay. So this feels more in like I'm looking at a history here, something in the past. there has been this cultivation happening around something that has caused a lot of distress, but it looks as though it no longer is. It feels very strongly like this is an energy, this is a state that is falling by the wayside. But this feels extreme. So there was some sort of extreme, it's almost that sense of, as you can see it in the picture, that almost pulling your hair out, this overstimulated, oversensitive, like this, to the point of almost driving you into a state of paralysis. So that feels as though it's falling to the wayside, and there's been a solution, a resolution to a degree. And a new beginning. And because aces have been very prominent in the readings this month, and so far what I see on the table, you only have this one ace. But whatever this feels like for you, is it does feel like this was a doorway in. There's almost like there's something that a doorway, it's almost like a doorway or a gate through this energy. So there was something, a resource of some kind that that carried you through, that sort of was your way through this. And it feels successful. So it was successful. And this ace energy comes forward as gifts, as offerings, as opportunities. So it's an opportunity, and it looks like you took it. Okay. So now moving into this present, the present, it's almost this extension of this. So something like an extension of this energy. We have the Hermit reversed next to the Six of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. So it feels very strongly with this card is like this coming out energy with something. So there's this, I'm also hearing this picking up of the pace. And it's this really beginning to not only see, but experience the fruits of your labors. And then the Hanged Man is, it feels in relation to this, there is this, it's almost like you're up at night, wide awake, but it feels more this inspiration. It feels like there is a clarity that's coming around with this, it's just this, it's this clarity that's coming up. And it also feels like intrigue and excitement, and vision. There's a vision. And yeah, I get the sense with the Hangman that there is this looking really far into the future is the feeling I'm getting around the Hangman. There's this feeling of like this composure and sort of this holding in this one space where you are now. But it's like there's this long-term looking into the future that's happening as well, it feels. Perhaps on a more unconscious level, we have, the darkness in these cards can sometimes remind me of, around, especially in this particular circumstance, it's sort of speaking to this subconscious. And something that you might subconsciously be betting on for the future. So the Son of Cups next to the Wheel of Fortune, next to the Strength. And again, Leo's card. So there, Leo, maybe check out the Leo reading, or it could just be an energy that is, or someone closely connected to you that's showing up in this reading here. But so when I'm just looking at these three cards, I just heard riding the wave, riding the wave. And I just heard Something about not putting all the eggs in the basket, like in one basket. And I get the feeling it's not that I don't feel like it's advising you to not put all your eggs in one basket. It feels as though it just almost feels more like a statement or something more of like a statement of saying, this perhaps a conversation that you're having with yourself or that's coming up is this putting eggs in the basket, not putting all your eggs in one basket, or you are putting all your eggs in one basket. So there's just something about that. There is, with the Wheel of Fortune, I am getting a lot of activity. So it does feel like activity here is picking up in a really colorful way. And there's a lot of inspiration to be tapped into right now. It feels perhaps environmental, but also highly creative. It's almost, I'm looking at dream time here. And then there's this, whatever this vision is, there's great devotion to it. Great devotion to your big picture. So there's this patient determination that is really present for you right now. That resource of patience and that resource of devotion are ones that I feel you're really tapping into and harnessing and exploring and practicing right now. So we have the Magician, the Five of Pentacles, and then the Three of Swords reversed. So this just feels like we're now coming up here to perhaps the latter part of September, going into October. But so it's and this feels like some sort of pause, I want to say, or I just heard mini break. But it doesn't feel devastating. It just feels like a mini break. Take that how you will. And it is, and something about this touches that tender, perhaps something from the past, but it's this experience of lack with the Five of Pentacles. It's that lack of self-esteem, lack of self-worth, or just lack of feeling worthy, of worth, of feeling secure. And disappointment. So there's something that it feels like a tendency or, and I just heard tendon, but it's just this tender sort of place that might, I just heard rear its head a bit, in some way or form. But it's not this extreme energy. It's not an extreme break. We're not looking at the Three of Swords upright here. And it feels as though, especially with the Magician, let me see if I can set this up to where it's almost like with this Magician, it's these two cards here are from its past, or from the Magician's past. It's to its back. the magician is looking in the other direction here. So it's almost like there's this something that's coming in that is, again, rearing its ugly head, perhaps, briefly. It almost feels like just, very quick, momentary. But it's sort of this, maybe this picking up of old feelings that you're somehow relating. It's just somehow related to whatever this little stick is. This little but it's more of just like an emotional moment rather than actually. It doesn't feel like the consequences of this experience or of this feeling, or that this feeling is coming from something that will carry through. It feels more momentary. And then this High Priestess we have next to the Six of Wands. Next to the Empress. And again, the Empress feels very maternal. And this maternal energy it feels connected somehow to this disappointment, or to this discomfort, this I just heard disempowerment. So there's a sensitivity that feels somehow connected, and then to a maternal energy. That could be a maternal figure in your life, or it could just be women in general, or something or someone that represents that a very strong female energetic archetype in your life. But also, simultaneously, this is calling for nurture. And it's saying that this wants to be, on a larger scale, it's saying that this is meant to be healed. That this is healing itself. So whatever this is it does feel almost naturally, even if it's coming up as you experience those. I feel like it's resolving itself. It's resolving itself. And with the High Priestess and the Six of Wands, first of all, it's like this is floating to the front, and it's just your intuition is so present in your life right now, and it feels like it's this another resource that I feel you're really listening to in a more advanced, more to a greater degree. And again, with this card, I'm experiencing this ease, this core stability, and great, great, great vision forward. So there is this theme of vision, and having a vision for yourself, and having a vision for your future. And this idea of vision and cultivating vision is very strong for you. And then we have this beautiful butterfly in the Six of Wands rising out of the wands. This tangle of wands. And absolutely unfazed. Better than ever, in fact. So it feels as though this state of being for you feels like a victory. This is the victory card. And this six can often sometimes refer to conversations, communication. And I do feel that it's almost as like how you're showing up in conversation and communication, using your, how you communicate, how you express yourself, your form of expression is really taking shape in a whole new way. And it's almost like I feel like I'm so proud of myself. So it's as if I can hear you saying that to yourself. I'm so proud of myself. So proud of myself. It feels like I'm patting myself on the back. There's this ownership of self that's coming in big time. And then on the way out here, sort of on the way forward into October, we have the Two of Cups reverse. So, this does feel like some sort of minor disappointment around the partnership arena. We have, crossing these, we have the Two of Swords, the Daughter of Swords, and then the World. So it doesn't feel like this is a done deal or anything like that. It just sort of feels as though it's I just heard pause again. It's a pause. And then this is almost like it's leaving room for headspace, which can be a good thing or sometimes not such a good thing. And for you in particular, it's almost like a fine balance between those two, having this sort of extra headspace. But I think what's really and this card has been quite present actually in these readings, is synchronicities. It's almost with this extra space, it's bringing in all of these new synchronicities and new opportunity. So whatever this is, again, it feels like it's I just heard momentary glitch. And this could be relationship. This could be other forms of partnership. And because this is to the furthest into the future part of the reading that I'm looking at, it does feel like it also is kind of going back to it might be speaking to sort of this refining of what you want to see become of your relationships. And perhaps looking at the areas where you experienced disappointment in the past. You know what this feels like so deeply? It's an evaluation energy. So this feels like an evaluation period on both sides around relationships. Between you and another, or just you and your hypothetical future partner or perhaps business partner or whatever. This does feel pretty romantic though, pretty like significant other. But this feels like an evaluation period. And again, that unstruck sound, this is where this is going to be so useful. So allowing yourself to have that, giving yourself that as an evaluation period will really serve you and open to the incoming of a lot of synchronicities and possibility. And again, I heard resolution and evolution. So this feels like a really healthy time of evaluation, and one that will that can potentially serve you in numerous ways. And there is this feeling with the Two of Swords, and we have like this eclipse, this double, the sun and moon. It's almost, again, with that evaluation, it's almost like this looking at perhaps things that you're like, I don't know if I like that or if I don't like that. I don't know if I like that or if I don't like that. And perhaps facing some things, looking at things you're like that are less comfortable for you to look at. There's this feeling with the sun and the moon, eclipse that you can't quite look at it. But more than anything, it's kind of this space for evaluation that feels healthy and will move things forward in a constructive, stable, secure, productive way. So overall, yeah, this is really, I mean, it just what comes to mind is you've come so far. You've come so far. And there is this there is this like all of this new color that's coming in, and this expansion and venturing out, and then this homecoming that is taking place. And it almost, I just heard arrival. So and again, it's arrival, and one arrival, it's just sort of just the beginning of the next journey, isn't it? So it's really, we don't ever really arrive, or really, nothing really ends. It's all so connected and so cyclical, and so just one extension of the next, of the next, of the next. So it does sort of feel like there is that energy with this, like, oh, okay, there's one sort of arrival, just to open way to the next new journey, is what it feels like. Well, I hope that this was helpful. I do check out your if this is your sun sign, check out your rising or your moon sign, because that's so helpful. These are such general readings that, take what resonates, and what doesn't, let that go. But if you check out your rising and your moon sign, you can piece together a more holistic reading for yourself, so you have something more specific to work with. So I love you. Thank you so much I hope you have a beautiful next few weeks. This looks really, really good. Steady goes its sort of energy. This really, really, really beautiful, beautiful cards here for you. And exciting. So enjoy it. Like, comment. I love your comments, and subscribe. And yeah, I appreciate it so much. I love you. Bye.